Hello and welcome to We Do Disney. My name's Doug.
And I'm Emmie.
And today we're going to be going over 10 things that you should bring on your first Disney cruise.
You and I till the end, don't need to pretend. Again and again, we'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye, we'll stick together.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is a high-speed multi-USB hub that looks like this. So, while you're on a Disney cruise, the amount of plugs in your room is going to be somewhat limited. And a lot of items now charge off of a USB. So you can buy something like this off of Amazon for under $20. Mine has 6 different USBs and it plugs only into one outlet. From here, we charged camera batteries, our phones, you can charge your tablets, all at once and only using one plug. And we found that was super helpful, especially when you're like me and I bring 7 camera batteries with me on a trip.
The second thing that you might want to pack on your next Disney cruise are some chip clips. Now, these are good for snacks, obviously, but we actually saw some clever families use these to clip towels to their lounge chairs. That way, with the high winds that end up on the top decks and the winds on the beaches, your towels won't fly away into the wind. They'll actually stay on your chairs. So pack some chip clips for that.
And have you ever had the towel just slide down until it creates an uncomfortable lump in your back? I hate that.
Such a clever solution.
So jealous. Alright, the next thing that we're going to talk about are little magnetic hooks. Now here's the cool thing about a Disney cruise. Your entire room, all the walls, are metal. When it comes to utilizing the space that you have, vertical space is important. So we get these tiny little magnetic hooks. You can find these on Amazon. We'll definitely link them below. We got 10, I think, thinking it would be overkill, and we used every single one of them.
We were actually hoping for more of them.
Yeah, we're definitely going to bring more on our next trip. The neat thing is, this can attach to the ceiling, and you can hang wet bathing suits over the shower instead of using the clothesline, and it lets you use a whole lot more space. The other nice thing is, they stick up, you can move them around, they don't damage anything inside the room, and they're so tiny, they don't take up very much space in your bag. I think these were the biggest win when it came to advice that we were given before our cruise. Picking these up changed the game. Clothes, things that you want to get off the floor, just creates a much cleaner environment in your room. So bring these along. I think they were like $9 for 10.
The next item you're going to want to bring on your Disney cruise, just for fun, are some door decorations. So, these are little magnets that we got from a cute little Etsy shop. Say Emmie and Douglas, of course I'm Minnie and Mickey, our We Do Disney magnets, and our first Disney cruise. Oh, so cute. So we put these on our door, that way, one, we could actually figure out which door was ours. Super, super helpful because all the doors look the same. And second, it's nice to get to know your neighbors since you're going to be sharing that time on the cruise ship with everybody. You kind of get to know everybody's names and faces and maybe where they're staying too. So bring some door decorations along for some fun and to find your room.
The next thing we're going to talk about is plastic baggies like Ziplocks. So the thing we found most useful about having these plastic Ziploc bags is at the end of your cruise. You want to have fun up until the last moment, right? That last dip in the Donald pool or in the Mickey pool. But then you have a suitcase that has soaking wet items in it. Well, no longer. You just toss these in a couple Ziploc bags, bring the big ones like the gallon ones, put those in, zip them up, and that way you don't get the rest of your luggage all gross, wet, and I hate that musty smell after it's all been locked up tight. Won't have that issue, because it all will live in here.
The next item to pack on your Disney cruise is sunscreen, and plenty of it. we went through about a 12-ounce bottle of Sunbum. We'll link the description below so that you can check out the one that we like to use. Our Sunbum is our favorite product because it's not as greasy and it smells amazing. I love that stuff. And we were using a sunscreen every day for excursions, to hang out on the top pool decks. And just with the two of us, we went through that entire bottle. So make sure that you take that into account. It was a 7-day cruise for us in the Caribbean. You might have a bit of a different story, but pack plenty of sunscreen for you and your family. And just in case the sunscreen doesn't work out, also be sure to pack aloe. I think this is our little bonus tip for this round. They tend to go together just in case that sunscreen didn't end up doing the job, because that's Caribbean sun can be quite intense sometimes.
There were plenty of lobsters sitting on that top pool deck.
We were counting how many people got severely burned.
So be careful and bring aloe just in case.
Yes.
Next thing we want to talk about, wine and beer. Now this is unique to Disney Cruise Lines. On Disney Cruise Lines, per person of age 21 or older, you can bring 2 normal-sized bottles of wine, like the 750 milliliter, or a 6-pack of beer onto the ship to have in your stateroom at each one of your ports. So, bringing the wine and beer, if you want to have a drink of wine while watching the sunset on the veranda of your boat, but you don't feel like paying a exorbitant amount of money to be able to purchase it, bringing your own is never a bad idea. Other bit that goes with that, you want to make sure you bring a wine opener. I know our stateroom host could have found one for us, but far more convenient to have one with you. So wine opener, bring your own wine or beer, and that's something that we really enjoyed but didn't use as often as we thought. We maybe went through like 1 or 2 bottles of wine in 7 days, so.
Mostly because they had the drink of the day.
Yeah, which there will be a whole video on alcohol and drinking and cocktails that you can have on a Disney cruise that has not been made yet, but when I do make it, it will be linked above and below.
The next thing you're going to want to pack for your Disney cruise, pirate costumes! Ha-ha! Here we are in our pirate costumes over there! So if you're heading to the Caribbean or Bahama area, make sure that you pack a pirate costume because it's fun. That's the only reason. Yeah. If you partake in Pirate Night, you're going to go ahead and take out those pirate costumes to wear for that night, but they also can supply you with a Pirates of the Caribbean bandana. So if you forget, no stress, they do have one, but we brought some extra accessories just to make it a little bit more fun.
Yep. The next thing is going to seem obvious, but we have details that will make it more important. Bathing suits. It's plural for a reason. I packed 2 bathing suits so that I could have one up to hang on my super cool magnetic hook while I was using the other one, and then I would just alternate.
Pack at least 2 bathing suits. I packed 4, and I was still waiting for some to dry while I was changing into my bathing suits.
Pack 4 bathing suits.
I did. I packed 4.
Did you use all of them?
I did.
Pack anywhere from 2 to 4 bathing suits. I was happy with 2. It's probably simpler for guys. But really, there's nothing worse than getting into a wet bathing suit, especially in a room that has air conditioning. It's just uncomfortable. So, having one that has a chance to dry out, being able to slide into that while you're going up to the pool or the aqueduct is going to be a game changer when it comes to comfort.
The next thing you're going to want to pack for your Disney cruise is a waterproof camera or phone case. Now, I have a life-proof case because if you know Emmie, Emmie constantly drops her phone, loses it, gets water on it, things like that. Life-proof is an amazing case, but you don't have to necessarily have life-proof in order to go on a cruise. You could also use one of those little phone pouches that keep your camera dry. You might have a different kind of case that says it's waterproof. That's great. Use that because there's water everywhere all the time with the pools and your excursions that you're going on. You're going to the beaches a lot. So make sure that you have protection for your cell phone and your other devices as well that you bring with you. Good?
Yeah. Always use protection.
Oh my god.
The next thing we're talking about is a lanyard. if this is your first Disney cruise, you will not be receiving a complimentary lanyard. That is for people who are in the Castaway Club, who have been on multiple cruises. They get a lanyard as soon as they get on. But I liked our choice in lanyard. This is a small, waterproof lanyard that can carry your key to the world card, which is the key that does everything for you on board. You can charge things to it. It's how you get into your room. It's how you turn the lights on. Yeah, that's how you turn the lights on, is with a key. So we kept those in there. The nice thing that I like about this is we also kept our tickets to our different events that we were going to be going to. These are paper, so having them in something waterproof kept them safe. I really enjoyed that. We also had our little beer mug card on there, which can be exchanged for a large souvenir beer mug. That'll be covered in the Drinking on a Disney Cruise video. Keeping them all in one place, making sure it's waterproof, and then just being able to whoop, slip it around your neck was very convenient, and we always had our cards on us, and they were all in one central place. So, bringing your own lanyard, especially one like this, again, we'll link it below in the description, was a really good call. So whoever gave us that tip ahead of time, thank you.
The next thing to pack on your Disney cruise is a light jacket. It gets a little chilly and a lot windy on the upper decks. So if you think you're gonna be fun in the sun all the time and never be cold, you could possibly be wrong. I was actually very chilly. Yes, I'm a Florida resident now, but I'm a New Hampshire girl at heart. So I had definitely got a little chilly on those upper decks. Having a light jacket, I got this one on my cruise. Isn't it so cute? Look at the inner hood. It's so cute. It has like little anchors and stars and Nautilus ropes. It's so adorable. So have a light jacket, and if you don't have one, it's a really good excuse to maybe get one when you're on your cruise ship.
We both did it.
Yeah.
Guilty. Now on our top 10, yeah, that's a joke. Now we're going to talk about dress code for Paulo and Remy. When you are looking at doing an added dining experience, like going to either Paulo or Remy, two of the added experiences on the Disney Fantasy in our case, there are going to be dress code requirements for each of these locations. Remy is the strictest in regards to dress code. Paulo is a little bit below that, but still have to dress up. And then you have your general dining rotations that you can be cruise casual, just means no bathing suits and coming in soaking wet. So, with these, there are, I believe in Remy you have to have a sport coat for guys, collared shirt, that kind of attire, khakis or slacks as I call them, and Emmie makes fun of me, they're still called slacks. For women, I believe dress or
yes,
a
you can wear a dress,
formal
pants, with a formal blouse top. They recommend no spaghetti straps,
okay.
I believe.
No macaroni straps, no spaghetti straps, no angel hair straps. Okay. Closed-toed shoes?
I believe like a fancier sandal is fine, but you're probably going to want closed-toed shoes for men's shoes.
Well, my open-toe pumps are out. In all seriousness, I will link the dress codes in the description below so that you can see the specifics, at least for our cruise on the Disney Fantasy, but on the Disney Cruise Line website, you'll be able to find all of the dining dress code requirements at each of the individual locations. So, we will link that in the description below.
The next item that you're going to want to pack on your Disney cruise is a water bottle. Now, Doug and I really love these hydro flasks that we got. They keep hot beverages hot and cold beverages very cold. For example, we filled these up with ice water, and the very next day, I still had ice in there. 24 hours. That's impressive. So, pack a really nice water bottle. You'll thank yourselves later for using it. You're going to want to stay hydrated for when you're in the sun, on the pool decks, and when you go out on your excursions. Staying hydrated is super, super important. Now, when you go to fill these up, there are locations all on the ship with soda beverages, and you can also use water there as well. Next to those stations are the plastic cups. make sure that for everybody's safety, you use the plastic cups to refill. That way everybody stays happy and healthy. We're not supposed to put our own used spout on the soda fountain machine. Go ahead and fill it up instead just by the cup so that we all stay happy and healthy.
And I would also note we are not sponsored or affiliated with Hydro Flask, but if you're listening, Hydro Flask, I can be bribed. I'm totally okay with that. Next on our grand tour of 10, thank God we said 10-ish at the beginning of this, 10-ish things to bring on your next Disney cruise are some sunglasses. Now, for me, I'm kind of clumsy, so I have broken and lost and somehow horribly discarded many pairs of sunglasses, but I still like sunglasses that look nice. So we actually have created an affiliation or a little partnership with a company called Knockaround. They make very reasonably priced sunglasses that are still polarized and UV 400 protected, so you keep those peepers protected. You like peepers? And they have fun stuff where they have a whole online shop where you can customize your sunglasses to make themed sunglasses after maybe your favorite Disney character. Got a little blue, gold, and white here. Maybe reminiscent of Donald. Maybe I can't say that due to copyright protection. But if you want to order a pair, you can follow again links below for Knockaround sunglasses. And because they were super nice and I emailed them about this, you can use a code DougDisney20 for 20% off your whole purchase, which I thought was super generous of them. Thanks, guys.
The next item you're going to want to bring on your Disney cruise is some cash. Now, cash is a great thing to have on you for excursions. Let's say you want to buy a beer on the beach, for example, and you don't feel like bringing your card. It's great to have a couple extra dollars on hand for that or for taxi service. Now, in your stateroom, if you decide to hang out on the ship and get room service, this is another great reason to have a couple extra dollars hanging around for when room service comes up to your room to drop off those items. Having a little extra cash makes their day extra special because they're making your day extra special. If you want to know the top 5 things to order from room service, you should also check out our other video on the Disney Cruise Line for that. We will link that somewhere.
Above and below.
Yes. And check that out because it's really great to know what it is you might want to order from room service. It's great to stay in the room when you need a little break from the sun. Just so you know, tip isn't cash for everything on the cruise, just for room service and on your excursions outside of the ship. You can actually prepay for your tip. Disney Cruise Line will sort of calculate and factor out how much tip you should be leaving for your stateroom host or hostess and for your servers at dinner. Now, when you prepay for this, it takes care of the majority of everything, but if you have exceptional service at the end of the cruise, you can also choose to increase the tip a little bit if you like for that exceptional service. I know that we did because our servers and our host was amazing. Yep. Thank you, Mate. It was a pleasure to meet you. Cornwall, you're amazing. And everyone else, thank you so much for all of your time and energy. It was so appreciated.
If you all have any items that you think we should be bringing on our next Disney cruise, definitely leave them in the comments below. We want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and we hope you have a wonderful Disney cruise.
Bye, guys.
Bye. 10-ish things that you need.
I said 5, but I meant 5 more than 10.
10 together.
Yeah.
We're right here. Look, don't have a handle on your coffee cup. That's dangerous. And just noted, door decorations are taken.
Sorry. And plenty of it. Oh my gosh.
So much sunscreen.